pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Has anyone been getting hacked or attacked by like hay fever or something the last day or two? I have. Yeah, my sinuses are going. Grass. They said grass. High grass.
Everybody's got their lawns.
Yeah, I need to cut mine. All right, roll call, please.
Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Maureen Bory.
Here.
Joanne Shirkey.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Christy Hiltman.
Here.
Chris O'Regan.
Here.
Cindy Valentine here.
Okay, we're all here. Before we get going, I'd like to amend the agenda. I make a motion that we amend the agenda. It would be under new business 1G, that we hire for the fire department, does a new hire for a part-time employee.
Support.
Okay, a motion support. Any discussion on that? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that will be 1G. Sorry, Tim, you're gonna have to wait till the end. Okay, no problem.
Mike.
All right, bills payable. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve bills payable in the amount of $83,176.48.
Support.
Okay, motion support. Any questions or anything on that?
Not this week.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next, we have the world famous supervisor report. Let's see. We've been negotiating collective bargaining agreement with MAFF, and we're in mediation right now. Hopefully we can get that resolved soon. Just wanted to let everybody know the bike path that's in the north part of Clay Township. That project is completely done. Working on a $2.1 million grant that would take care of Clay Township's portion to finish the bay to Bridge to Bay trail system. So if we can get that going, that would be way cool. Hopefully we'll see some action on that in a couple of years from now if it all goes well. We're working on the Harsens Island Nature Park that we're developing. We met with, we had wetland studies done and met with the county. Actually, they're gonna help us out, design and pay for this birding platform that will oversee out over the marsh. And had a preliminary meeting with Eagle as far as the permits for it. And I just got an email this morning that they did approve they're gonna start processing our permit. They approved the submittal of it, so that's in the works. And the DDA is looking at developing a plan for the Pearl Beach Pier with a public bathroom, and they got some cost estimates for approval. I put that in the consent agenda for you. And once I meet with them tomorrow, and then once they give me the okay, we'll turn the plans over to the Planning Commission. It should be the boat launch for the handicapped No Limits Charter. The lift should be installed this week, I'm told. So that will be going, getting going there pretty soon too. And let's see, Project Controls also started working on the water main replacement project with initial surveying and see what we're gonna need to do to put a new water line in. Let's see, yes, we already covered that. been doing a lot of work as far as the bonding for our MERS liability, our pension liability. And it's looking like that it would make sense for us to do that. That will probably be before us on our September meeting, the first one in September. I believe it's Tuesday, the 7th. Remember last meeting, we approved the Lexipol system for policy training and training modules for the fire and the police. Our insurance, Nickel and Saph, is going to reimburse us 25% of that cost. So I did send them the receipts, and hopefully they're going to take care of us there. They said they would. They will. Another thing the DDA is looking at is seal coating and rubber sealing the cracks, and do a seal coating on the walking path and the parking lots over in the park. Everybody's been working hard in the office. Our audit's going on. They were in here, 4 of them today, weren't they? Going through all our things that we did last year. And we did get somebody to do the landscaping at the corner of Taft and Muskrat Run. That looks a lot better now. They do have to throw some mulch down there, which should happen here soon if it didn't happen today. And I did meet with the new lady that's in charge of county parks and rec, and we hit it off pretty good. And we're still on course for our beach project, and we're going to. Clay Township's going to have a lot to say on how that goes and what happens there. And yeah, it was a very good meeting with her. The new Flamingo Bridge is, one lane is actually open of the new Flamingo Bridge. They're actually in the process of tearing down the old temporary bridge right now. And it's still on slate to that project to be completely done with the landscaping and everything at the end of this month. Let's see. We did our MS4, our stormwater permits, which is one of my least favorite things to do. We only have a few catch basins, and we got to do all these engineering and stuff and studies that we're not polluting from these 7 catch basins in the township. And we did have minor violations, and I got to do a letter of corrective action on that. And our next meeting, we will be entertaining, we just got back from the county, it came from our planning commission, is a fence ordinance along the water. So, and one thing I've been working a lot on, or started working on, I'm pretty excited about it. Next year, Clay Township turns 200 years old. And we're looking at a bicentennial celebration. And we got several ideas to do this. And we're going to I got some volunteers together, and we're going to get together and make a big celebration to celebrate our history. I'm kind of coined right now, unless someone comes up with something better, a tag phrase of calling it Clay Days, and we'll remember, honor, and celebrate our history. And music in the park's going full swing. We have a great band actually this Thursday, Los Gringos. That's a great local band. And that's all I have right now. So that didn't take too long. All right, moving right along. Public comments. Do we have any public comments? Come on up and state your name and address.
Hi.
Hi.
Cindy Selke, Selke, 6027 Point Trumbull, Algonac. I'm nervous.
That's all right. Relax.
I listened to your last meeting. It's about the Pearl Beach Pier. Mm-hmm. In the last meeting, you said the bathhouse or bathroom and everything was going to be on the west side, correct?
No, east side.
But in your meeting last, you had said the west side.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, you said the east side.
Right.
That was correct. And the agenda that was on the website, it's showing everything's on the other side.
On the east side,
So everything is definitely going on the east side?
on
Okay,
the plans, yeah.
okay, all right. Another question.
Are you the property right next door?
I'm 2 doors down,
Two
3
doors.
doors down.
Okay, because I sent an email to the people,
They're new.
yeah, and I didn't get a response back, because I wanted to talk about the fence and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear from them too.
And you're definitely putting a fence up?
Yes,
Okay,
I wanted to see what kind of fence they wanted.
okay, all right. I was wondering if you could help me with the house directly next door to me. This is their dock. Hunks keep coming off and getting wedged underneath our dock. Who can help me
Well,
with this?
give me a call on that, but unfortunately, the township stops at the seawall.
I know, that's why I'm asking who
Yeah,
can help me.
and really, that would be a function of the DEQ or the Coast Guard. I don't think you're gonna find a whole lot of love there,
Okay,
but I'm just being honest with you,
okay,
so.
all right, thank you.
Eagle,
Yep,
isn't it
thank you.
Eagle now?
Yeah, DEQ, Eagle,
Eagle,
same thing.
EEQ? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, Eagle and DEQ.
Okay, any more public comments? Come on up.
Hi, my name is Anna Jackson, and I live at 5881 Point Trumbull Road. And my problem is the Airbnb next door. I had this month, just July, 25 adults, 13 kids. And let me tell you, it's scary. I'm a widow. I live alone. During the day, I'm fine. At night, when they walk in between the houses, I don't know who's going there. I don't know these people. The scariest thing it was 2 weeks ago, he had 10 fishermen with 5 boats and 6 trucks and vans, whatever. Those people were all over my dock, which is falling apart. And I just don't want anybody to go on the dock. They're all over. They walk over my property next door because they put a boat there. So they had to go 3-4 times a day walking over. I told my neighbor last year, my property is off limits. I don't want anybody on my property. And then to find out from the insurance company that I'm liable, it was just the last straw. And they, like I said, they don't do anything for the community that you can say it's a hotel or something, so they go to the restaurants, they buy food. They come with the vans full of food, and they leave with the food. The funny thing is they even bring their own toilet paper. So, I mean, you know, it's really, it's annoying. I waited until now. This opened last year. But there's always like a 10, 11, 12 people. He has a 3-bedroom house. I don't know where those people sleep. And there's not enough room in between the houses, so you can hear everything. And I'll be honest with you, I am uncomfortable at night. I don't know what to do. I kept my mouth shut because I don't want to, you know, do anything that, you know, get him in trouble or anything, but this has to change. I don't know if Clay Township has anything on AirBNB, or something has to be done. You can't have all these people going, 25 people, my neighbors, in 1 month. It's not working. We are all senior citizens there. I live in the same house for 48 years. I paid my dues. I deserve to have peace and quiet. I deserve the kids not to walk all over my yard, peeing in any tree that is there. It's awful. It has just changed so much. So I don't know what's to be done. I cannot tell you what to do, but please consider the neighborhood, because it's going down, and we senior citizens deserve better than that. All the houses in between, like bear with me, this is is my first time I'm here in 48 years. So you know that's not good.
Right, I called, you
I
called me
did
and
call,
I
I
invited you
did
to
call. I
come,
want to
so.
find out, something has to be done.
Yep, we're gonna address that later on tonight, so,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yep, thank you. Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any other public comments? Yeah, go ahead in the back.
Scott Walgrave, 7873 Stark Drive. I'd like to speak a little bit about the Airbnbs myself. I live on a private drive, and I kind of don't understand how it's private if I have different neighbors every few days running around. I'm sure you all wouldn't want one of them next to you, and we just don't feel it's right to have them on a private drive. You know, we pay our taxes, we do our own thing, you know, we have to do our own, shovel our own snow, we have to pay for that out of our pockets. The people at the Airbnbs, they don't help in paying any of this stuff. You know, we pay our taxes like everybody else, and I don't think we really need different neighbors every few days, looking at our wives, looking at what we have, and so on and so on. You know, they're complete strangers to us. We have no idea who these people come and going, and I just don't think it's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Hey, Darren.
My name's Darren Gabriel, and I live at 9280 Pearl Beach Boulevard. And I just was going to bring up the pier down at the water there. I got this. I'm thinking that these drawings that you have are accurate or up to date. These.
Well, they're preliminary, but yeah.
All right. Well, I'm hoping that these are the same ones you guys got, because I was looking at like where y'all got the little restrooms proposed, so to speak, there alongside, adjacent to our property where the marina is, and it leaving, you know, I guess it says like a 24-foot wide little area there.
Can I, actually, I have the DDA meeting tomorrow, and then after I get that, can I meet with you? And
Oh, yeah,
and-
of course.
and
you know.
that's what I was gonna do, Darren.
All right.
Is meet with you and go and review that and see if we need to change anything, because I wanna accommodate you too.
Well, yeah, I mean, being you guys are starting pretty much new, I mean,
Right.
I'd hope that you know, that there would be, it's just tight. I mean, gosh,
Yep.
you know, you know, if, you know, I mean, obviously you got professional engineers, you know, trying to perhaps
Right.
like, balance out this property and do what's best for, maximize it, so
Yep.
to speak, and, yet it,
Let me hook up with you after Wednesday.
all right,
And I'll bring the big drawings and stuff,
yeah,
okay?
okay.
Sounds good,
Yeah,
thanks.
thanks.
Any public comments?
Hello, I'm Keith Stein. I live at 7889 Stark Drive. I also have another home at 7930 Stark Drive. And the concept of Airbnb is a concept that could work, but I have to be respectful of my neighbors. And I think that's all everybody here wants, is for their values to be protected. And if you find that the Airbnb situation is acceptable, I think you have to look at it from the standpoint of how it can be in harmony with the goals of this community. And the goals of this community are well established, that we all came here to enjoy the waterfront, the peaceful enjoyment of the waterfront. You can't have that when you have 25 people at a house and you have no control over that. You can't have that when you have absentee owners having their homes being used by people they don't know, and there's no control, and the neighbors have no way of getting a hold of the owners. So if you're gonna do this, which candidly would be something that would work for me, but I'm okay if you disapprove it too. You know, I think you need to put rules in place to protect our neighbors. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any more public comments?
Tom Purcell, 7882 Lake Drive. Appreciate you guys having us here and listening to us. This has been going on for quite some time. I don't know if the board knows the whole history of it, but it started maybe 4 or 5 years ago. 4 years ago, I was, and I'm here speaking for almost 80 people. So some couldn't make it, some up north. A lot showed up tonight, but it's kind of started with taxes and stuff. And my house had 2 AirBNBs across from me. I had a condemned house on one side of me. I had a vacant house here. I had a full-term rental there, and Larry Pronek was the only other one full-time there. So I'm thinking, you know, this isn't good for my property value, so I fought the taxes. Well, denied. So then 4 of us came down shortly after that, talked with Artie Bryson, Dave Mason, I think Tony was there, Larry, and I think, yeah, Odom was there. So we had a big, long meeting, and grass cutting, dangerous buildings and stuff, and the AirBNBs were brought up. And Artie goes, after 2 hours, I goes, yeah, we got a problem with that, and we're gonna work on it. So that was at the fall or so. So later, probably around, 6 months later, text, hey, Artie, how's things going? Didn't hear nothing. 6 months later, text, how's things going? Didn't hear nothing. So we did a little thing where we got it to put on the planning commission, and that was back in 2 years ago, and finally got on the board. And then Kathy running it, she goes, well, we got something here on AirBNBs, and she looks at the board, and she looked like a deer in the headlights. So that tells me nobody was talking to the board for the whole year. So that's when it all started. So we started asking about it, private roads, and we said, well, a private road, the closest thing you got on the books right now are bed and breakfasts. They're close, but they're not the exact same thing. So Rule 11 on bed and breakfasts is not allowed on private property, public access only. I said, well, why not just add that to ours? My road is 11 feet wide. My road's this wide here. My canal is just twice as wide. So I can hear these guys whisper over there. And, there's 4 bass boats there today pulling in. A lot of them come up from Ohio. Every week it's different. And finally the neighbor, Keith McDougal next door, finally put his house up for sale. He's tired of it. He's been there 3-4 years. That's not right. And so we've been working with this for a while. Dwelling, you guys, single family only, spelled out. This is all copied from you guys. And the bed and breakfast, I said, was not on a private road, And then I get this memorandum here where they want to amend the bed and breakfasts, and it looks like they're trying to undermine private property. I don't know where the amendment was going to go, and I'm hoping it wasn't directed at changing, taking that away from us, because that's already ours. It's our property. It's not yours to give away. So anyway, I was a little concerned about that memorandum that came out. This was the 1st of January this year. So I was a little concerned about that. And then it keeps going on, This is right out of the books. Statement of purpose. The purpose of R1 is to provide a stable and sound environment. That's the first line in that. And then it gives, types you can use, single family home, essential services, family daycare, stuff like that. Then it drops down to special use. Special uses are what they say, special use. Bed and breakfast is down there. Why aren't drug houses and AirBNBs in there? Those are businesses, and they're running in a private neighborhood. Now, we are And the point I was trying to make at that other meeting the other day, we are a private road, and so I went down the road talking to the neighbors, and I turned this little petition. It's, you know, it's just not much. It's just, this is our concerns, you know. And so I'm going down the road, and I says, well, if I get 50 or 60%, I said, I'm not gonna mess with it no more. I'm just gonna throw it in. So I went down just my 3 streets, and I got 74 signatures of everybody that is concerned about businesses. Now I'm thinking, we're private, and we are real close neighbors and stuff, you know, 40-foot lots, 30-foot canal. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's just us that's having the problem because it's so, you know, it's right in your face. And then I'm thinking, well, all these guys are members, you know, retirees, workers and stuff. I said, we're no different than the bird lanes. And when I walked down and got this thing here, there was only one lady on that street that did not, that knew that those 2 ordinances were coming down. The drug house and the Airbnbs were coming down. And they're not related, they just happened to come down at the same time. And so I said, these guys we're the same as everybody else. But is anybody else complaining, or is it just because we're so small? So that's what I'm looking at, using that private property. So maybe, and I did talk to State Representative Gary Eisen, and he was checking out the fact if Airbnbs on private property was a state law or where it came from, because we're trying to figure out where it came from. Obviously, there's a reason for it, because it's working, and then these Airbnbs are coming in. But I got a little bit more to say on that. But anyway, these things are now.
Well, you gotta hurry it up, man.
Okay, well, it's 4 years, it's, okay. But anyway, so this was passed around, and we're the same as everybody else. So I bet there's 95 or 99% of the people in the rest of the township that don't know that they could have, if these 2 ordinances go through as they are, they could have a grow house on one side of them and an Airbnb on the next one. So if you're going to work in the morning and you're packing your lunch and get ready, and you're gonna leave your wife and kids there, and you got an Airbnb here, and you got a drug house there, how you gonna feel? I mean, we're a residential area, that's not right. So according to the 2009, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled short-term rentals for a dwelling for a fee is not considered use of property as a single-family dwelling. I had Gary look that up. That is a fact. He says Airbnbs are illegal, but he says, I can't understand why why the townships and stuff are using. There's like 83 counties and 150 or 1,500 townships and stuff, so everybody's like running wild. And it's just like the drug houses coming in, they're just running wild. Businesses, you know, this town was built, you sold yourself as a residential area years ago. Everybody comes out here and retires and does that. And then the city had the urban come in, cleaned up the thing, turned out real nice. But when they built the town, they built it to be comfortable, but not for growth. Saturday afternoon, you can shoot a cannon down Main Street and not hit nobody. You go to Marine City or St. Clair on Tuesday night and you can't find a parking spot. I mean, they put the police station, the fire department, and the post office right on government property or prime frontage, you know. There was probably other ways to do it, but instead of just throwing all these strangers in our yard, maybe they should have a hotel or motels or, you know, provide for it, but Algonac doesn't have it. And then there's talk they want to do something with Pearl Beach. Maybe they should fix Algonac before they do something with Pearl Beach.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments? Come on up.
Tom's a hard act to follow. But anyway, I've spoke at these meetings before, and I've written letters to the Planning Commission, and I've been on the Zoom meetings.
We need your name and address.
Karen Odom, 7840 Englewood. And the situation is getting out of control with the Airbnbs. I finally had to call the police this last weekend. There was a car parked in front of our house for all 3 days, and we could never catch who was in it. And I thought, this is pretty brazen. You know, I mean, the cop found out that it was someone from the Airbnb, and he would leave, what it was a community party in the neighborhood. And people were just joining there and setting up a beer pong table in the backyard and beer bottles clanging all day long and just disregard to our safety or our privacy. And like I say, we pay taxes too, and our privacy is just being destroyed. I'm just so tired of it. The last Zoom meeting that we were on, it was kind of decided that all they would have to do, the Airbnb owners would have to make sure that they have exit signs over all the doors, and that would preserve their safety. What about ours? What about ours? We're afraid too. COVID was last year. I mean, it still is. And these people, they clean up that place, and an hour later, another batch of 9 cars come in. 30 people, you know, I mean, that's not safe. That can't be clean. And that's all I have to say, basically.
Okay.
We're tired of it. We're
Thank you.
tired of it. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Is this the group that you talked about forming the association?
Yes.
You want to say that? Okay.
Tony Kaprowski, Lake Drive, 7941. A couple comments. In their brochure, they advertise rentals for boats, jet skis. Do they have a Michigan license to do that? Does Michigan know that they do this? They do?
Well, not right now in Clay Township. That's what we're going to discuss later.
It's been going on for quite a while. How come somebody's not doing something about it? And I can see these people going in and out of the canal. There's 3 people on the jet skis. They got a young kid wedged between them on a jet ski, which is against the law. Who's monitoring this? It's on your responsibilities, you know that? What happened to that poor kid drowns? That's sad. And nobody's doing nothing? And there should be an age limit on jet skis also. They should have,
Township has nothing to do with what happens on the water.
if they have a rental, it's your responsibility.
No, Township has nothing to do with Marine Safety Patrol. The county, we have 0 jurisdiction past the seawall.
But
No, it's the truth.
Isn't your responsibility to make sure they got a license?
No, it's the Marine Safety Patrol.
So, but
It's
they're
the sheriff.
they're advertising in bed and breakfast with rentals.
Okay.
You would have
Shouldn't
to
that be
call-
some of your responsibility
No.
to look into it? So you just say, hell with it.
No, what-
So if some kid drowns out there, you don't care.
don't tell us that we don't care.
Well, you're not doing nothing about it.
Thank you for your comments.
But if they're on land and they leave land, then it's someone else, so you just toss the ball in.
She lives next door. Hi, I didn't plan on speaking tonight, but my name is Debbie Felzek, and I live at 7925 Lake Drive. And I have a handicapped son, and we live at the end of the road on the bay. My son likes to swim, and he's 42 years old, so he knows how to swim. He's grown up there. We've taught him how to swim. But there are dangers with people who don't know how to manage a jet ski or a pontoon boat. I'm a neighbor across the street of one of our former speakers here, or across the canal, I'm sorry. And I have no problem with him at all. My concern is our canals are small, our streets are even smaller. If we have B&Bs and they bring 15 to 25 people, where are they gonna park their cars? We, as a neighborhood, have trouble parking our cars right now. We don't have room Where are they gonna park? Jared drives his bike up and down the street, he walks up and down the street, he knows everybody, he's very friendly, he stops to visit everyone in the neighborhood, unfortunately for some of the people in our neighborhood, but, you know, he just loves to do that. And the fact that these people, our speed limit on our road is 5 miles an hour. These people who come in and don't understand, and it's a private road. I don't understand why, as a private road, we are having these groups of people who don't belong there. I mean, if someone on our road that lives there drives up and down the street too fast or parks in a place where it impedes our driving up and down the street, which is very easy to do considering our street is only this wide, we talk to them. We go to them and we say, look, you know, you guys need to remember this is this wide and we can't drive and we need to be able to back our cars in and out. But with B&B people, they don't care. They'll stand right up to your face and tell you, buzz off, I'm paying for this place. I understand that. And I appreciate, because I've rented places before. Not in anybody's neighborhood. I rent a condo somewhere. You know, I get it. You're renting, but you respect where you're renting. You don't just move in and say, we can do whatever we want. I mean, they have on this pontoon boat 25, 30 people. And it's like, you watch them go out and you're terrified that someone's gonna get hurt. And I understand that that's the marine issue. I don't know where our patrols are. I don't know why they don't come by us, but they don't. So, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, as a private homeowner on a private road, why are we subjected to this? Shouldn't we be the ones that say, no, we don't want this? So what can you put in your report, in your ordinance, that will protect us as private owners on a private road? We do our own we do our own everything. We pay for our own garbage pickup. We don't ask much of you guys. But this is something that, as families, as a mother of a handicapped son, I need your protection. I need your help. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
We need to take matters into our own hands. I mean, if it's a private road, we should be able to do what we want.
I'll get to that point here in a second.
Hello,
Hi.
Sarah Potter. And I'm in Ira Township, but speaking on behalf of our group of homeowners with vacation rentals. I wanted to talk about the response to our June 7th meeting, where we last left off. The board was going to review all of the discussions, concerns that were previously stated, and review the draft again. There were some shared concerns by ourselves and the board members, including singling out vacation rental homeowners through board-directed enforcement of an ordinance, conflicts with existing ordinances, disparity of penalties versus other ordinances in place, where unnecessary punitive language making violations a criminal matter exists for this new ordinance. It was also voiced by some of the board members that they wanted to see more of a registration ordinance, which we're not in objection to. The criminal matter is one of the biggest issues, though. So the board was going to revisit this, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody's reminded. For the record, there were no one in our group of vacation rental homeowners had any formal complaints in the past 24 months per the FOIA request that I pulled. It is suggested by the board to revisit the homeowners' concerns. I'm hearing some of those tonight, and sorry for my tardiness. I thought the meeting was at 7, so trying to be early to that. So it was also noted that in prior board meetings, there were no open concerns that had not already been addressed. It was also acknowledged by the board that some of the verbal complaints appeared to stem from personal issues which were not infractions to be handled by the township. The board recommended that those concerned organize a handled, no, this is for Clay and Ira, concerned to organize and handle through an HOA, which was not formed. Other suggestions by the board were other suggestions by the board were to file a formal complaint or have the issue handled through Clay Township Police Department for existing ordinances or their enforcement officer. As the group of homeowners agreed at the conclusion of the June 7th meeting, we would provide additional information for all rentals that we could come up with for the board. We invited the board to visit our properties to see the difference that we made in the community around us through our property improvements, and which we are taxed for. We anticipated additional discussion with the board on mutually agreeable language moving forward. However, the draft received July 24th reflected otherwise, only revising to add flexibility to inspections. I'd like to close with the fact that you rented our home for the Clay Township Music in the Park Band, the Insiders, August 12th. There are a total of 8 band members and support crew expected. What if they decide to do a practice jam session despite our notice of township ordinances and if the vacation ordinance were in place? Would we be slapped with a misdemeanor, $500 fines and 90 days in jail instead of the band? Does it make any sense to penalize the owner and not the violator? Or maybe penalize Clay Township for renting it for them? When the particular location says that they have an ordinance and the band has a practice jam session, but we're close to Island Grill and they continue on to have a band and go on as well.
You're talking about a property in
I
Ira
am.
Township? This is Clay
It's all
Township
relevant,
proper?
Artie. It's
We're gonna
all
sit-
relevant.
No, it's not. We're sitting in Clay Township.
Both
These are Clay
ordinances are
Township
drafted by the same
taxpayers. We
attorney.
represent Clay Township,
Yep.
not Ira.
The-
Stick to Clay Township,
Yep,
please.
the ordinance reflects the same for Ira Township.
I don't care what Ira Township does.
The
It's a different ordinance.
Attorney is the same, and Ira will follow Clay Township. So you rented our place for music in the park. If they had a noise issue, yet the Island Grill is close, and that could apply to any vacation rental in this area as well, in Clay Township. Would we, as a homeowner group, vacation rental homeowners, have a fine, or are they also?
You would have to talk to Ira Township, Sarah.
I understand, I'm
So
asking
why
you
are you
for Clay
asking us?
Township. Okay, I'm
You know
asking you
what?
for Clay Township.
You better stick right to it, or or your 3 minutes is gonna be up.
I think that the board chose one of our homes in our group because we represent the community well. I'd like to think that. You seem to approve of our existence. Why not support more of a registration and inspection ordinance as previously voiced? Not an unregistered, where unregistered homes would be addressed. Not existing, where also existing ordinances would apply to all. That's all I'm asking. You've got ordinances that apply to all already. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any more public comments? What, no one's applauding?
Good evening. Steve Fournier. I own 2 properties on Lake Drive, 7917 where I live, and a vacant lot at 7907. I just want to reiterate my support that we feel, the residents on our private street feel that we have no recourse for having a drug house or Airbnb and the carryings on that go on. And I, for one, do have a daughter, and I have nieces and nephews, and they come and they kayak. And the ones that are old enough and legally old enough to drive a wave runner do so under my supervision. I don't feel comfortable with 25 guys in a bass boat speeding all around. And, you know, we are gonna get together and handle the marine issue, trust me. That's gonna be handled. But last weekend, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. And why is it? Well, because there's an entryway being allowed. There's a loophole, we need to close it. We ask that you respect our private drive. That's why we're here tonight. We don't want our property values going down. We don't want safety to become an issue. And that's all we ask, and we pay our taxes. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments? Go ahead, George.
George Burgess, 5909 Point Trumbull Road, Pearl Beach, Michigan. You guys been hearing a lot about Airbnbs, and I wasn't first going to get up here, but I wanted to give you a little bit idea of the variety of issues. I live on next door to Anna, and so I don't have a noise problem with people because I'm 2 houses over. I don't have a parking problem, but this place rents to a lot of fishermen, and they have bass boats. We even had an airboat. My bedroom happens to be on the water side. 1:30 in the morning, my bedroom lit up like I had a floodlight on me. I think he had landing lights on this airboat. And he comes in because he wanted to see where the dock was. He did whatever he wanted to do. He leaves. 3 o'clock in the morning, the lights go on again. The whole bedroom's lit up. And the same thing happens with bass boats. They put these high-intensity lights on these arches, and when they're coming in, they throw the lights on. And I mean, you have to see, it's like the police are raiding the place. So this is a variety of things. You know, it isn't just parking. It isn't just, there's other things that, you know, come in to happen. So I just thought I'd throw that in. Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Tom Shepard, 5887 Point Trumbull Road. I live between Anna and George, so, and I'm an Airbnb.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. So, and I understand everybody's problems. You know, we all want to complain about this, that, and the other thing, and we need to like all get together and help resolve this. I know I'm not a real fan of having 13 fishermen, so I'm knocking it down a notch or two, and then, but you know, my house is capable of handling 9 people very easily. I can park 24 boats and cars in my driveway, but I'm not gonna do that, okay? And however, like, the public, you know, I've been in the area for 26 years. The public dock, there's noise, there's music going on all night long, 2:30, 3:30. Okay, never said a word. I live next to 2 marinas, making noise here and there. And, you know, I've heard airboats, you know, Baja boats, 2:30 in the morning. And, you know, they go by, it happens, you know. So, that's about all I got to say. I mean, we all got to work together and resolve something. And, and I know these people, they live on such a short drive that it's got to be tough. I get it. It's tough enough. I got plenty of room. But
Okay, thanks,
right.
Tom.
Yep.
Any other public comments? Okay. Hearing none, I'll continue on to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of communications, road watch the week of August 2nd, the PC cost estimate on the fishing pier with the survey and the conceptual site plans, phase 1 and 2, that the DDA is overseeing, the resignation from our fire department of Brian Moore and Brian Moran, check reports, and minutes of the board meeting of 7/19/2021.
Support.
Okay, motion support. Any questions or anything?
Just want to reiterate the site plan, phase 1 and 2, going to the DDA. The
Okay.
review.
Was what?
The site plans for the PCE survey and the site plan, phase 1 and 2, are be to reviewed by the DDA and then to the plan committee.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Hearing no more comments, all in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have chief report, fire chief report, George.
Good evening. Chief's report for July
2021. Attended 2 meetings for the month of July, and that was the St. Clair Flats Homeowners Association along with the St. Clair County Chiefs Association. Most of the equipment has come in for the 2 new engines. We should have them in service by the second week of August, but one should be in service by the end of this week. So we're moving quite quickly, getting all the equipment mounted and putting it in service. We're looking forward to that. We're still waiting for some equipment, RIT equipment, some fittings, and in our jaws. And I found out this week that our jaws should be delivered less than 2 weeks. So within the next week or so, we should have those. Magigraphic came out and lettered the new airboat. I did supply you folks with some pictures of the markings they put on it. And we're looking at training on that in September, focusing on that boat. With all the other stuff that we've had, we've been pretty busy. Let's see, what else? Raft off, we're working on the plans of that, for that event. I secured both the command post and also EMS staging, so that those 2 sites have been secured, and working with the Coast Guard and the Sheriff, the Marine Division for patrol out in the bay. We're still going to have to deploy some balloons, so that's part of our job too. So,
Excuse me, Chief, what event was that?
Raft off.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully it rains.
When is that?
We're praying for rain.
August 14th.
August 14th. So, what else? And August has always been a busy month, and no exception, so we're quite busy. I also want to report to the Township Board that I've not been able to man station.
We got to knock off the chatter, please. Thank you.
Have not been able to man Station 2 as much as we always do. We did lose 4 firemen, so, and then we have vacations going on, so I'm trying to focus on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the island. And if I get some extra bodies during the week, we'll man the station. That's all I have.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Chief?
Let me know when you get the airboat in.
I sure will. You want to go for a ride?
All right, thanks. All right, moving right along, we have unfinished business, short-term rental ordinance. And I just wanted to start out, we received this as first from the Planning Commission, but we've been, kicking this around really since 2018. This has been an issue that has been being taken up at the state legislature. And the state's going to come down with some legislature pretty quick that's going to say that cities and townships cannot disallow AirBNBs, short-term rentals. And kind of similar to what they did about people growing marijuana. We cannot, by zoning, disallow someone growing marijuana. And they are going to say that we cannot disallow anyone from having an AirBNB or short-term rental. That being said, a couple of years ago when I talked to you, Tom, and other people, I suggested you guys form a homeowners association, and I still think you should, because you'll have other issues as far as road repair and this and that. I really think you should form a homeowners association, and you can have deed restrictions, and that can be, you'll have to get an attorney, and
That was our last straw.
well, I suggested that 2 years ago. Colony has one, same type of thing. They have their own, I should say, bylaws that prevents people from certain structures they build even. So seriously, that's what I would do on your 3 roads there. In fact,
Our thought was the B&Bs were already there, and if you just added that one line, or I was trying to figure out why was some reason, like, you know, like previous boards
So-
before you guys, and then we just use that same line. That's all
I'm
we
just
need.
telling you, I would do homeowners. And you got a lot of people here right now, so.
It's not that hard to do.
No. In fact, there's a guy standing up in the back,
Really isn't.
attorney, that can help you out with it. See that, Glenn? I'm giving you some business.
And you can make your own rules.
So,
So what does the Fournier and Pearl Beach do?
well, we'll get to that, okay? So that being said, before us board is the proposed ordinance. Do you want me to go through it, or?
Well, I have a comment in regards to the short-term ordinances, rental ordinances. I feel Clay Township would be remiss if we did not provide a safe and healthy environment for the neighboring residents as well as our township visitors. The ordinance is not prohibiting STRs. In fact, it's a guide for ensuring the well-being of all. Opponents of this ordinance have stated that they already comply with most of the articles. Then, as such, fully complying will not be a significant burden. The current unregulated STRs have created a situation where neighboring residents feel unsafe and suffer with continued disruptions of daily life. The owner-operators of these short-term rentals must be regulated, ensuring accountability. Therefore, I motion to approve the STR rental ordinance.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have any support?
I'd like to make a comment.
Well, we need support first.
Support.
Okay, we have support. Okay, go ahead, Maureen.
Well, there's a few things in this ordinance that I disagree with. Section 4I, you know, supplying proof of homeowner's insurance and liability. I don't think that's really our place to do, and I'm really concerned about the violations and penalties in Section 5, 1, because if they have 2 more people sleeping in the home, the owner of the Airbnb is going to be held, responsible and get a misdemeanor because the people renting have decided to put 2 more people in there. I mean, well, it's not,
This is a discussion, right now, everybody, this is a discussion between the board members. We already had your public comments, and we have a good feeling on how you feel. So. If you guys are out of order, I'll have everyone escorted out of here. I don't want to do that. Don't force me to do that, please. Go ahead, Maureen.
it's one thing to have a fine, it's another thing to put a misdemeanor on someone's record. I'm uncomfortable with approving that, with that in there, but that's just
Your
my
feelings.
opinion.
Okay. All right.
He didn't get to talk, I think, because he didn't know it started at 6.
It's all right.
We let him make a public comment or no?
No.
Okay.
Anybody else like to weigh in?
Can I make a comment?
I would like to say
Not right
that
now, no, thank you.
I do think there should be proof of homeowner's insurance, and I do think that they should have a personal liability, because this is not us going into a private person's home. This is a person's business. This isn't their home that they live in. This is their business that they're renting out. So, I mean, to protect the people who are renting it, we need to know that they have insurance and that they're being responsible business owners.
I want to basically just hit the highlights of this ordinance, how it's written. And the goal is that we want to maintain the integrity of the neighborhoods and the feel of neighborhoods. We also realize that AirBNBs can be an asset to our community. That's what we want them to do, is be an asset and not a detriment. There is a definite need for places to stay for people. We are a recreational community, and we don't have any hotels. There is a definite need, but we want to control it in a way that will still maintain our neighborhood feel. That's the goal. in the language, basically we say that they have to have an occupancy permit. The building, the house has to be up to code before they can open up. Let's see, what else is here? They have to supply us with whoever is the owner of the property with contact information, address, or whoever's managing it. So if there is a problem, we know who to call. So if there is a problem, you guys call the police, they know who to call. Street address, they have to supply us with the number of bedrooms in the unit, the floor plan. They have to provide working smoke alarms and CO, carbon monoxide detectors, fire extinguishers.
Parking.
Yeah, I'll get to that. They have to consent to inspections if we feel the need to inspect the home. There's some language in there, but they have to consent to an inspection. Let's see, we did the floor plan, and in here it does say that they have to have a homeowner's insurance and personal liability insurance for the property. I probably read 15 or 20 of these vacation rentals ordinances, and probably 4/5 had that in it. We are not allowing them to put a portage on outside their property and keep it there for their tenants to use. Let's see. This is not question and answer. They have to post something that's clearly visible for their tenants. Where, I've ran these places before, they have a book where the Wi-Fi password is and this and that. They have to put in there that this is a residential area. People next door are not on vacation. And in there will be, and we'll supply a copy for everybody, in there will be our noise ordinance. A few other words of wisdom will be in there. Shooting off fireworks, for instance. How it works for having a bonfire outside. We put in there, they can't rent out the attic or the basement unless they get approval. All parking shall be accommodated on-site within a garage or on a paved gravel or stone driveway. The owner of the unit shall submit a plot plan or a site plan demonstrating the location of the approved parking. They have to have this is where they can park. They can't park on the yard, everywhere else, out in the street, or on your yards. And if we do get over 3 complaints that are valid, we have the right to pull the license away.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Artie, the violations penalty enforcement is just for violating what we put forth in this ordinance.
Right.
It's not, there's loud music there all the time. That's a police matter with the occupants.
Under the noise ordinance, right.
This penalty, or $500 or whatever we choose it to be set at, only applies for not registering your house, not
Right.
having working fire extinguishers,
For violating this ordinance.
for violating the setup of this ordinance for them to, in fact, have a short-term rental.
That's right.
They're not advertising for 20 people when they can only sleep 6. They're advertising for 6.
But if 8 sleeps there, we can slap them with a misdemeanor.
No,
Whatever.
No?
Any
I think that's what it's
any
saying.
unlawful activity can be handled by the local authorities, period.
But that's a violation of this ordinance.
We're
if 8 sleep in there
basically
at
saying they
6.
can't advertise, am I right?
correct.
We're saying that they cannot advertise for more people than the house
Right.
can hold.
Accommodate.
We're not saying if there's 12 people in there, we can go kick 8 out. They cannot advertise.
'Cause I'm trying to look for that in here, and it just says that's part of the ordinance. They can't have any violation shall be a misdemeanor.
Yeah, that's,
and I
of
mean-
this ordinance, it's a misdemeanor.
Right, but I mean, that's my concern, is you're saying in the ordinance how many, we're gonna tell them how many can sleep. And
Yes.
if the people renting the place have a couple more people or an extra car, we could give them a misdemeanor. Like I say, I could see a fine, but I can't see a misdemeanor when they're not in control of that. They've told the people, you can only sleep 6.
Right,
And-
so they advertise for 6.
They advertise
Then
for
they're
6, but it
fine.
doesn't
They're
matter
fine.
about
Then
the
they're not in a
advertising.
violation
They're
of this
not in
ordinance.
violation of the ordinance.
It
then.
doesn't say advertising, it just says not more than 6 can sleep there. Does it say it's just about advertising?
It says the maximum advertised number of occupants shall not exceed the bedroom capacity defined in section 3.2 plus 2 per finished floor.
So it's just the advertised?
Yes.
Okay,
Subsection 7, Maureen, on page
Yep.
4.
okay.
In other words, Tom back there, he can't advertise that he can have 24 people, right, Tom? No parties. And quite honest, we want to have a tough penalty because every good Airbnb owner that I rented from, they definitely monitor and they kind of
Screen.
who they're renting to.
It says no events.
No, yep, they screen who they're renting to. And we want our Airbnb owners to do the same. That's the intent, to keep the neighborhood, we can't stop, my point is, we can't stop it. The state is not gonna allow us to stop them. But it allows us to control them, and this is what we're attempting to do. We might find that we might have to change this down the road and tweak it, but we need to do something. And like I say, we've been looking at this a long time, and parking's an issue, loud parties, but you know what? Your neighbor that lives next to you full-time can have a loud party. So I can't make a rule, no loud parties.
We already have that rule.
We have that rule after a certain time. And whoever rents it or lives there is under that same rule. This is, what we've come across. This is what the planning commission gave us after kicking around a lot and everything else. Does anyone on the board have anything to add, or?
Well, I'll tell you that I appreciate the outpouring and the expression of your community, of our community. No, I wouldn't want one of these, next to my home with 12 fishermen either. I just wouldn't. Our job here on the board is a difficult task tonight, between remaining lawful by the state constitution and supporting our residents. We're trying to find the balance, and we believe after many months and work, tremendous work with the Planning Commission, that this is a good start for us. We have to implement some rules. This is lawful, we can legally do this, and it is a great step to protect you all in your complaints. And from the parking issue, to the noise, to the amount of occupants in a certain dwelling, this gives us leverage to control and help squash your complaints in the future.
If we don't enact this and we just step away, nothing changes.
Wild, Wild West.
Nothing will change. So, in my opinion, this is a good start. This is a step in the right direction. I know that perhaps you'll view this as maybe not going far enough. And I understand that complaint. I get that. But from this side of the microphone, this is a good start for us. And what we believe will ultimately help protect your concerns.
What you believe.
What I believe.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
didn't vote yet.
May I speak?
Thank you.
No, we already had public comments, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I thought your meeting started at 7, and I
Well,
guess you
it
started
started
at
at
6.
6, and-
Well, I can
No.
still my piece as to
No,
preserving my client's due process rights.
no.
And so you're gonna
It was
violate
at-
that.
No.
Sir, you've missed public comments.
You missed public comments, and we've heard your comments several times. In fact, I think you were at the meetings when we decided to change the meeting times to 6.
That is correct.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's not my fault
I
that you
didn't say
didn't
it was
have,
your fault.
know the right time and all these other people did. I'm sorry.
I didn't say it was your fault.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
See you in court.
See you in court.
Is he a resident?
What?
Is he a resident?
No. Does anyone have any more discussion? We have a motion and support. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Well,
What?
Mark made a motion to approve the ordinance, but I don't think he made the motion for the resolution that actually
Oh.
approves the ordinance.
You want to edit your motion, Mark? Because it's a resolution. We're approving the ordinance and the resolution for the ordinance.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the short-term rental ordinance and resolution.
Is this, you still have the same support?
Support.
Okay.
Can I just add to that, it's Resolution 2021-22, ordinance
Yep.
number 144.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that okay, Mark?
Thank you.
Okay, so any more, I'll ask one more time, any more discussion with the board? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Crystal Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
No.
Okay, Matt, motion passes 6-1. Thank you. Okay, moving along. Mark's asked a couple times, actually, to start developing a plan for the property that we have. That'll be a future police and fire station. The first step is if the board chooses, is to do a survey and topography. And I do have a quote from PCE, our township engineering company, to do that. So whatever the board wishes to start that process.
I'll make a motion to approve the PCE proposal for boundary and topographic survey.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support.
Is there I apologize, I didn't put it on the agenda, but is there an amount associated with that?
Yes.
$6,575.
$6,575. It's a survey and topographical topo.
Somebody support that?
I support it. I'll support it.
I
Maureen?
think Mark already did.
Mark, did you already support that?
Pardon?
Or somebody did.
I thought he made the motion.
I support,
I made it.
Okay.
Christie made it.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Do we have any discussion on this, or?
Do we know how big of a piece this is? Is this like 2 acres, 3 acres? Do we have any idea how big this piece is?
Well, this will tell us.
We did when we bought it.
Yeah, I think it's about 4 or 5 acres.
Do you think it's that big?
Yeah.
And I understand the survey. What's the topo gonna do for us?
Well, if someone wants to plan out to put up a commercial building on it, they're gonna want to see that. Wouldn't you think?
So we're preemptively paying for a survey in topo for future rental or future sales? What's our objective here?
For a future, to plan out what we want to do.
For future development?
Right,
Right now, it's Clay Township offices,
Yep.
per se, whether it's police, fire, or whatever. So that's what we're predicating this on.
And where does that come from, a development budget?
well, this will allow us to do some research to develop one.
It's in compliance with, or if you want to call it compliance with the master plan. It's in there, so.
I mean, if we want to get a rough sketch of the kind of facility we want to put there, I would suggest get the survey done, and then get a rough plan, just a layout of what we want to do there. And I wouldn't recommend PCE to do that. Actually, I've been checking around. Partners Architecture, I don't know if you heard of them. They've done several, they usually do just municipality buildings. And they've done several firehouses and police stations. And they're in Mount Clemens. They would come in and interview the chiefs, both police and fire, and analyze what they want to do for future expansion, and what kind of building they would need, and they would come up with a plan. Yes, this property will work for it, and this is what we suggest. No, you might need a little bit more room, or, hey, you got more than enough room.
It could be similar to a market study.
Right.
But you mentioned one thing, Chris. I know we have, or someone said that we have footings in there for a past site plan that.
I don't know if there are
Yeah,
footings.
those won't be identified by the survey. However, we need to go to our building department and see exactly if there's a footprint of those footings in there, so we know where those are as we move forward in this whole process. Because it could be an issue.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, we could do it without the topo, but eventually you're gonna need a topo.
And eventually we'll need the survey.
Right.
I recognize that. The timing just seems peculiar, but this is progress. And I guess this is the kind of thing we're supposed to do. So, thank you.
All right. Any more questions? We do have motion support, right?
We do.
Oh. Right. Well, we don't need a roll call for this. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next we have a resolution to amend the zoning map. We did the planning commission, or is it ZBA? I don't know. They changed zoning on a piece of property
Just planning.
on
Yeah, it looks like
Harsens Island planning.
Kathy was CC'd on things from
And
Saph.
we have to, once that's done, we actually have to change the map, the zoning map. And believe it or not, the zoning map is an ordinance, so we need a resolution to adjust the zoning map. And that's what this is.
I'll make a motion to amend the zoning map, 126-43 map amendments, and the resolution 2021-23 zoning map amendments, 126-43. I think I said it all.
I think you did too.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support.
Now, there should, just so you know, I don't know if it came below for us or no, but this is for the, it's like the old club. It's a piece of property that's adjacent to it, and they are going to build residential structures there, so it's all it's a win-win.
All right. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Kristi Hilton.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory?
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next to the fire department, we have 3 different air compressors. And these air compressors, correct me if I'm wrong, chief, fill up the, I call them the Scott packs. They're used for breathing. And these are for maintenance on these air compressors. And I know myself back in the scuba diving days that if you get air out of a bad air compressor and it's got a leaky seal, you can taste the oil when you're breathing that stuff.
And people have died.
And people have died. And this is to prevent that from happening for our first responders.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire department air compressor maintenance for $2,212.42 out of line item 206-765.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Right, next is our St. Clair County Local Road Funding. And this is to finish the Phelps Road project. So we can move forward with that. And again, I've been, don't say it too loud. I've been lucky every year I've been in office. We're supposed to only get this every other year, but we're fortunate enough to get it every year. So they would give us $50,000 match for the project. So I would entertain a motion for that resolution to allow us to apply.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2021-24 to request local county road match funds.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? I was just gonna say, it'll be before us on our next board probably. They have, it's a new program, large culvert match program now that they started, which is way cool. They're gonna do it at least for 2 years, and it will match up to 150,000, 50-50 match. And I talked to the engineer at the road commission, and he agreed. If you recall, we had that big culvert on Bayview Shores off of Anchor Bay Drive 2 years ago, and there's an identical one that's right next to it, the same age, and that one's that we ID'd to be the first one. And for a year or two, we're looking at one at either on Starville for the Starville drain there, or Riverside Drive down by Aqua Isles by Sassy Marina.
But this is just for Phelps Road right now.
Yes, but this is just for Phelps Road right now, sorry.
That's okay.
I
You're
just,
kinda-
yeah, I rambled, so. All right, so we have motion.
And support.
And support for local funding for Phelps Road, I'm sorry. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Kristi Hilton?
Yes.
Chris O'Regan?
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard?
Yes.
Maureen Bory?
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Artie Bryson?
Yes. All right, moving right along. We want to, want to move our regular board meeting on September 20th, 2021 to Harsens Island Lions Hall, and that would be at 6 o'clock. And truthfully, I want to see the second one in October there too. That would be October 18th myself.
Board, I'll make a motion to move our regularly scheduled board meeting from on September the 20th of 2021 to Harsens Island Lions Hall at 6 p.m.
Support.
You want to add
Well, that wasn't the motion. That wasn't the motion. So I'm going to vote no for it. I'd like to see both meetings, but.
You're changing the agenda, sir.
What? Well, we can amend the motion.
You want to amend
Come on, Chris, I did.
Which meeting is it? October what?
18th, second meeting in October. So we'll have two over
I wish to revoke my motion, or I'd like to make a new motion that we move our regularly scheduled meetings of September 20th of 2021 and October 18th of 2021 to the Harsens Island Lions Hall at 6 PM.
Support.
I'm glad we have flexible trustees. Okay, any discussion on that?
What are we gonna do for, microphones and things over there?
Well, we have our.
Same thing we always do, Joanne.
Same thing we always do. Yeah.
Same thing, nothing.
Gonna order us up a
more
thunderstorm.
modern or anything.
Talk loud, right?
Yeah. All right, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? All in favor of the motion of September 20th and October 18th meetings on the island, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have three culvert work orders for the St. Clair County, and one of them is expensive. I wanted to talk about this one a little bit. It's $19,500. And this is about a 300-foot culvert that runs from Pearl Beach Boulevard. It collects the water from St. Pierre, all of Pearl Beach, and Maynard, and it directs it into the Pearl Beach drain. And reason is it's been needing some attention, and this will make a lot of people happy there. And quite frankly, the road commission, it would have been too difficult in the higher water to swap it out, and they just been so busy that they kind of shuddered every time I brought this one up. But that's why this one's $19,000.
Now that drain run is from Pearl Beach Boulevard and under Maynard. Is Maynard gonna be affected?
Yes, yeah, there's a catch.
Okay, yeah, I know the catch there. but-
There's a couple of catch basins
Yeah.
that will be rebuilt and for collection.
How long do you think something like that'll take?
Well, it'll probably be done this fall. I don't know, it'll probably take 3 days, 2-3 days.
Okay.
They get in there with their equipment, it goes quick.
Now, these do not address some of our residential concerns for the cross culvert between the canals and the marsh.
Which canals?
Over by Ed Lane.
He's working that out right now.
Okay, that'll be something separate coming down the pipe?
Yes, yep, they're working on it. I didn't get the estimates on the work orders on that. There's 2 culverts there that we're gonna have to consider.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the St. Clair County Road Commission work orders totaling the amount of $35,139.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Christy Hilton.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next, Tim, you still with us, buddy? All right, George?
My apologies, Tim. I went right to your middle name, picked it right up off of there when I put you on the agenda, so.
That's okay, not a problem.
You won't have to do this again unless you get an award for heroism. We
Sit through the
anticipate
meeting.
that.
That's all right, that's not a problem at all. Nice meeting you all.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
2 hours
asking-
of your life they'll never get back. Not a problem.
I would like to ask the board permission to hire Tim part-time with the fire department. Tim is a Fire 1, Fire 2 certified, Michigan State certified. He's also a state certified EMT. Tim got his training at Macomb Fire Academy, and he's eager to be one of our firefighters here at the township.
Very much so.
Any questions for Tim?
You live nearby?
I live in Macomb Township,
Okay.
so not too far.
Straight down 23?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Good.
All right, great. You know how to swim?
Yeah.
Good. That's important.
Just saying. One of the reasons I'd like to be here.
Yeah, okay, good. Just saying, man.
Do you know how to drive an airboat?
I do not.
Not
I'm
yet.
going to learn, that's for sure.
Not yet. Yeah, we got that nice new airboat.
Timothy, where else have you worked?
Well, I've been working family practices. I worked in family practice in Roseville, Southgate, and I just stopped working in February at St. John Macomb and Warren. I was working in psychiatry there for about 5 years.
We could use that here.
I'll make a motion to hire Tim M. Kernan,
Yes, sir.
Clay Township Fire Department.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of hiring Tim in our, do you go by Tim or Timothy?
Tim's fine.
Tim. In our fire department, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for coming on board.
Congratulations, Tim.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just also want to let you folks know that Donovan Hubert's back. So he's back on staff with us. So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
so,
Good.
yeah, very good.
Wonderful.
He was a great guy, so. All right, thank you much.
Thank you.
Board member comments, Cindy.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that did come out tonight, and I appreciate everybody's position, but I think trustee O'Regan earlier kind of nailed it right on the head when he said if we don't do something, nothing is going to get out of control. So I think it's a start. I don't think that necessarily we won't have to revisit this ordinance. I think we can. I think we can build from it, make it a little bit better, but, excuse me, it definitely is a start. So I was glad to see that we got something done.
Great. Chris?
They're not all rosy days for us, right? That's by choice. We choose to run for office, we choose to be here. So sometimes we have to tackle these tough decisions, and a lot of times as board members, we have to recognize that you're not gonna please everybody, and that's just the way it is in what we do.
Wait till the fence ordinance.
But I feel like, we heard a lot of concerns today, right? We did a lot of research on this. We got a tremendous amount of effort from the planning commission, who put something before us that really made sense. We sent it back, I think, once or twice. They revived it, they changed it. So this is how, in my mind, our board is supposed to work.
Yep.
So I think we did a commendable job at doing our jobs today, for what that's worth. Thanks.
Chrissy?
Yeah, I'm glad to see everyone come out, and I think it's a kind of a sense of satisfaction to have worked on this for so long and finally see something happen.
Great. Mark?
Yeah, we did have, at the planning commission last week, we did have, especially this gentleman here sitting at the end, he did attend, and I pretty much asked him and told him to come to the come to the board meeting tonight and express his concerns. So he brought a lot of people with him, which I think was great. And just what Chris said, we work for the people, and that's the bottom line. And if you remember my opening statement, I also said that somebody needs to be held accountable for anything that goes wrong with those our Airbnbs or short-term rentals. So that's the bottom line. At the Planning Commission, last Wednesday, we approved the rezoning of C2 to C3 on Stone Road, and that's that little, used to be the Quonset hut, now it's a storage yard, which made a lot of sense. The 8999 Field Road Room to Roam, and that's that dog kennel run out there. We tabled that pending answers on some of the discrepancies that the planners put forward to them. That's it, thank you.
Hey, how's Steve Kaysen working out?
Pardon?
How's Steve?
Great. He's doing more as far as paperwork is concerned, and we don't guess a lot. I don't guess a lot anymore. So it's right there in black and white, and I like that, so. Perfect.
I think that was
Good choice.
Good move on our part, so, thank you. Maureen?
Don't have really a lot to say. I mean, I understand, everybody's concerns and putting something out there with the short-term rental ordinance to start with. I know you guys changed a lot of it, which was great. I know there's a lot of townships that don't have anything. I know we need something, at least a registration ordinance. I'm just kind of for less government, not more, and the misdemeanor part was just not something I could stomach, but on a happier note, it's pretty exciting that Nickel and Saph picked up 25% of our
Yep.
Lexipol bill, so thank you, Nickel and Saph, and if you need any other help with the Bicentennial
Oh, we
Committee,
will.
let me know. I'm happy to get on that train.
Okay, thank you.
I think we have someone in the audience that can help us with that.
Oh, yeah, I already talked to her.
Oh, good.
Joanne?
I'd like to say welcome to Tim on the fire department, and I also, along the lines of the short-term rental, I think it's very important to hear what the people have to say. And they all have a different slant or have a different situation, and just like Mark said, we need to see where the people are coming from. But by the same token, we have to be concerned with our township,
That's right.
our township.
Not so much Ira, right?
Not so much the other townships.
Right.
Yes, what works for us.
Thank you. Yes, congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, as far as the short-term rental, it's, like Chris says, it's tough, You can make a really, really good decision. I say this all the time. And 20% of the people would be upset. It's just how it works. I think it's a good start. It addresses a lot of the concerns that people have. I'm sure from time and time again, we might have issues going forward, and hopefully we'll get them resolved. We don't even know who owns these homes and how to get a hold of them. And now we will, and say, hey, we got a problem here.
Well, I think that's kind of where we needed that bite in that
Right,
ordinance to get them
exactly.
registered and not to be violating that ordinance, because
Exactly.
that whole ordinance is just about the registration process.
And yeah, no judge, like I say, we put it out with the penalty can be as a maximum, but I can't see a judge saying, you didn't have an exit sign. Well, maybe he would for an exit sign, but you or you didn't register your thing, you're gonna go to jail for 90 days and pay $500. The judge sets that up. It's not so much us, we do the maximum. But, I just want to reiterate, I know I have some volunteers to help us with our bicentennial celebration. I got too many meetings this week. I'm going to schedule a meeting with them next week. And to kick that off, I'm going to have some prototypes of our storyboards that I want to do. They're going to be 4 foot by 6 foot. And there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of excitement about it to celebrate. We have a rich history, and the more you start thinking about it and everything, we need to preserve it and celebrate it. And I'm going with the taglines for the celebration. Remember, honor, and celebrate. And if someone comes up with a better one, we'll do that. So,
I think it's off to a good start.
Yeah,
I like the tagline.
We have a lot of positive things going on other than that in the township, so I'm excited for our future.
And it will bring us a lot more pride.
That's right. Next meeting is August 16th, 6 o'clock.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Support.
Thanks for coming, everybody.